Hey guys, this week's exercise of the week is possibly the best hinge mechanics drill you've ever done. You're going to get a massive stretch and load through the glutes, and it's going to improve pretty much all of your movement patterns at the same time if you do it right. So we are doing the low anterior banded hinge drill. You can do this with a band or a cable. Both work really well. I actually slightly prefer the band because the resistance profile, it gets more difficult as you get closer to stood up. But let's take it back to the beginning. We're going to begin with a large stretch. So in this position, we have heel slightly floating, forefoot pressure, knee bent slightly forwards, close to over the toes, other foot still bearing weight to help with stability. But the key thing from a glute load perspective is that the right hip stays forwards and the right knee stays forwards in this stretch bottom position. If we open up and let that right hip slide back, we're losing a lot of the stimulus of this exercise. Let the band pull you as far forwards as you can. Try to stay relaxed through the upper body. A small side bend to the left, bringing your head in line with this foot, is a good thing. And to counterbalance this band, you're going to need to send your hips up and back. If you're getting only hamstring, bend that knee a little bit more. If you're not getting any hamstring, straighten the knee a little bit. Find that sweet spot where we get a lot of glute max stretch and a small amount of proximal or top of the hamstrings at the same time. Once you've got that stretch, the way that you're going to stand up is really, really important. So you need to drive this foot into the floor without changing the knee angle. So use the other foot for stability so you don't fall over, but driving that foot into the floor and thinking about driving that hip forwards whilst staying lazy through the upper body. We don't want to make this a row or a pull, so try to maintain length and a small amount of stretch through your rhomboids here as well. And then as you finish the movement, we're going to externally rotate so we get maximum shortness in that glute, drive the hips forwards and turn your belt buckle inside the working leg. Once we've got that nice big squeeze at the top, we're going to reverse the movement, let the band pull you over whilst keeping that glute, that hip high and behind the foot. Don't fall forwards, don't bend the knee. Make sure we're doing as much of that work in the hip as possible. Let the band pull you to maximum stretch. Left hip goes up and back, right hip goes forwards. You'll get a huge stretch under your hand here, so you know you're doing it right. And then we drive the foot back into the floor for our next rep. I'll just show you it from the other side so you can see how it looks from the working leg side. So as you can see, this is where I'm cupping my butt cheek to make sure the stretch is happening where I want it to. But let that band really pull you so you would fall over forwards if you didn't send this hip up and back. Notice the heel is floating, knee is bent, and we want that knee angle to stay as constant as possible. So it's that pure hip hinge, driving through, lazy through the upper back, drive that hip through to the finished position. So we've got a big squeeze. So we're taking that glute through full range in all three planes of motion. We've got flexion, adduction, and internal rotation, going into extension, small amount of abduction and external rotation. So we're taking it through a massive, massive range of motion. And if you do it right, you'll have a huge glute pump and your hips will feel ready for anything. Like I say, it's great for obviously deadlifting and hinge movements, but also for squatting, also for running, as we're firing up all the lower limb musculature as well. But please give it a go, guys. Let me know how you get on. If you've got any questions or struggling with any aspect of it, we can help in the school community discussion. And as always, don't forget to check out the rest of the exercises of the week on school and our exercise library on YouTube, where we have over 600 movement mechanics exercises to give you some inspiration in your own training or for your clients.